Do you ever find yourself standing in prayer, your lips moving but your heart silent? Going through religious motions, yet feeling spiritually empty? I've been there, hands raised in dua, fasting in Ramadan, yet my soul felt disconnected from Allah. I was physically present, but spiritually absent. Then came my breaking point. I gave myself 30 days. 30 days to either reconnect with my faith or confront the emptiness within me. What happened next wasn't just a spiritual journey. It was a complete transformation, one that shattered everything I thought I knew about Iman. If your faith feels hollow, what I'm about to share could be the spark you've been searching for. Faith had always been a part of my life, but something changed over time. I still prayed, but it felt more like an obligation than a connection. I read the Quran, but my mind wandered. I fasted in Ramadan, but I found myself counting the hours instead of focusing on the blessings. I wasn't struggling with belief, but I was struggling with feeling my faith. One day, after a stressful week, I sat down alone and asked myself, why don't I feel close to Allah anymore? That's when I realized, faith isn't just about knowledge, it's about experiencing it. Like a muscle, it weakens if you don't use it. I came across a study by Dr. Lisa Miller, a psychologist specializing in faith and mental health. She found that people who actively engage in faith-based practices experience less stress, more clarity, and deeper emotional stability. That's when I knew I needed to revive my faith actively. So, I made a plan, 30 days, 30 small steps to rebuild my connection with Allah. And that's when everything began to change. The first few days were harder than I expected. I started waking up for tahajjud, but my body resisted. I tried to focus in prayer, but my mind kept drifting. I opened the Quran, but the words felt distant. I wondered, why isn't this working? Then, I came across a psychological study on habit formation. Experts say that the brain resists change at first, but consistency rewires it to accept new routines. That's when I realized I had spent years weakening my spiritual connection. It wouldn't heal overnight. So, instead of giving up, I adjusted my approach. Instead of forcing long prayers, I focused on just one sincere dua daily. Instead of rushing through Quran recitation, I read just one ayah with meaning. Instead of overwhelming myself, I focused on small, daily progress. Little by little, I started to feel a difference. My heart was no longer numb. It was beginning to soften. But was this just temporary? Or was I truly reviving my faith? By the second week, something shifted. One night, after praying Isha, I sat quietly and whispered a simple dua. Ya Allah, bring my heart back to you. For the first time in years, I felt something, peace. I read a study by Dr. Andrew Newberg, a neuroscientist specializing in the effects of prayer on the brain. His research found that consistent spiritual practices strengthen neural pathways related to peace, gratitude, and emotional resilience. This made sense. The more I committed to small, daily acts of faith, the more my heart responded. I made dhikr a habit, whispering Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar throughout my day. I listened to Quran recitations, letting the words sink into my heart. I reminded myself that faith isn't about feeling perfect. It's about always turning back to Allah. By day 15, my prayers felt deeper. My stress felt lighter. My heart felt alive again. But what would happen by the end of 30 days? By day 30, my faith was no longer just a thought. It was a feeling, a connection, a way of life. I realized that reviving faith isn't about sudden miracles. It's about small, consistent efforts that slowly bring you back to Allah. One of my biggest lessons came from a hadith where the Prophet Muhammad said, "The most beloved deeds to Allah are those that are consistent, even if they are small." Faith doesn't grow in one night, it grows through daily actions. Now, my prayers feel meaningful. My heart finds peace in dhikr. My connection with Allah feels real again. Was I perfect? No. But faith isn't about being perfect. It's about always returning to Allah, no matter how many times you slip. And that's what changed my life. If you feel disconnected from faith, don't wait. Start small. Start today. Because Allah is always waiting for you. Faith isn't lost. It's waiting for you to return. What's one small step you'll take today to strengthen your faith? Share it in the comments. And if this story inspired you, hit subscribe and turn on notifications for more powerful reminders about faith, growth, and self-improvement. Remember, Allah's mercy is endless. It's never too late to revive your faith. Start your 30-day faith challenge today and watch how your heart transforms. Your journey begins now.